Welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. So glad you could join us on this Saturday night. Along with Brent Berry, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, Kevin Harlan. And joining us tonight, Emmy. And let's check out a breakdown, looking at some stats for him.
And guys, how about the surge of offense he's experiencing right now? These last 5 games, he's been a machine at the offensive end. A different score than he had been earlier in the season. We'll find out if he can keep it going here tonight.
A look at Atlanta's opening lineup. Collins at power forward with Len at center. Young and Crabber in the backcourt. And it's Hunter in at the 3. And for the 76ers, the talented combo up front, Horford and Embiid. Ben Simmons is out there with Harris. Ben Simmons has a very versatile game, there's no doubt, except that his shooting is something that drives you crazy, and that's probably going to determine how great he can become in this league.
Yeah, and maybe what position he ends up playing too, because you could argue maybe you just play him at point center and you put him with somebody else who can stretch the floor, maybe protect the rim a little bit. But I think the thing with Ben is he looks so much better during the regular season because the pace is different. But as you know, in the playoffs, it slows down. And I don't see any roadmap for him being a superstar if he doesn't figure this out. I still feel like athletically, he's way, way up there. And it's just going to come down to, can he go to the next level as somebody who's really never won anything? You know, you think like he's been in round 2 and that's it in 2 straight playoffs, and in both round 2s didn't play well. I think winning is a skill, and competing at a certain level is a skill, and I'm not sure we've seen that from him enough yet.
Well said. And the pass to Collins. We've played just over a minute here in the first. Out to the right wing. 5 on the clock. Crab, that's for 2. And good. Got the friendly bounce off the right side of the rim.
Well, Crab had the choice, and I like his there. Evolution and working on the pick and rolls is starting to pay dividends.
That one goes in.
Uncovered at the rim, finding cracks in the defense here early on.
Just really smart basketball and exploiting whatever holes that he's seeing right now in the defensive squad.
Now, here is Young. D right on him, and it's denied.
Yeah, not really much of a flow offensively yet. Only 1 of 4 from the field.
I'm amazed at Simmons' athletic ability. He moves so fluidly for someone that size.
Now about 2 minutes gone here in the first quarter. Here's Crab. He's coming off a 13-point game against Washington. Pass to Len. Young outside. Trying to get open is Len. That's in for the first basket of the game after 3 attempts.
Well, how about Trae Young? Even when he's bodied up there, finds a way to collect more points.
The quick look, no good that time. So with Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid, you have 2 players who consistently look to score in the paint.
Yep.
What's the best way, you think, to blend those 2 talents?
Trade Ben Simmons. I think that would be the best way. I don't think long-term that this is a fit together because he can't shoot. And you can cheat it, and you can have him move off screens, and you can have him try to establish the fast break and all that stuff. But we saw in the playoffs, when everything slows down, they didn't know where to put him on the basketball court. And he basically became Ben Wallace in the mid-2000s, like setting screens for people and rebounding. And for Embiid, I want to surround Embiid with shooters. I want to model a team almost like Milwaukee did with Giannis. I want somebody who can handle the ball not only in fast break but half court too. And I just don't think they work together. I think there's a ceiling when you have those 2 guys as your best guys.
All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, I briefly spoke with Lloyd Pierce. Their first 3 meetings this year against Philadelphia have all resulted in losses. The coach thinks his team has learned valuable lessons in those games. He said, guys like Simmons and Embiid draw the headlines, but if you look at their roster, they are talented from the first guy to the 12th. It's a tough matchup for us. Well, it's a tough matchup for most teams, guys.
Thank you, David.
Yeah, better than giving up the layup. You want to go in there and use the hard foul. They did it there. That's aggressive attitude defensively.
And how about the awareness Hunter possesses? Understands when one of his guys has an opportunity.
lets the three fly. They grab their own miss. That one is good from Joel Embiid.
Man, that's a lesson for the D. Fight harder on the glass.
Yeah, you just can't afford to give up second chance opportunities again and again.
Here's Hunter. And it's off from three-point range. Philadelphia's gone 0 of 2 from deep here. Here's Embiid to the inside. From about 16, that's good on the jump shot. He's got 6.
Well, for Tobias Harris to take this step, getting away from scoring and finding teammates to become a more adept passer, that's good signs.
Crab with the ball. Harris is there. Crab, no good. For Philadelphia, they've gotten 6 of 11 shots to go down so far. Pretty nice shooting. We've been producing documentaries, going deeper into athlete stories, which I know you love, because I think you're curious more than anything else.
Yeah.
So what drew you to that process?
Initially, it was we dove into these stories. We thought that was the inefficiency of, instead of these big, broad type of documentaries, concentrate on events and players and moments and things like that. And I think as you get into that and you start doing it, it just becomes intoxicating. And the cool thing about it is no story should be told the same way you would tell somebody else's story. You just don't know. You got to figure it out. Like we had Steve Nash his last Lakers season. He wanted to do a documentary about it. And then we spitballed it, and we decided it was actually a better idea to do an in-the-moment digital series about it that you could experience in real time. Was the thing. And it was the right idea, and that was really good. I think trying to figure out what story clicks the best with an athlete, how to tell whatever story they have correctly is the coolest part of it.
It's been interesting so far for Alex Lynn as the league has moved away from big men playing on the block about how he's going to improve his game to stay in the NBA for as long as he wants.
And that's what you want to see. Good, fundamental, sound basketball with the bounce pass.
Here's Young. And that one is good. Young's got 6.
Shots are just flowing for him right now, having a really strong quarter.
Jacks up a 3. Len grabs the board. And so it's Young who brings it up for Atlanta, trailing by 2. Their last meeting was in Philadelphia, where they were unable to fight off the 76ers.
Yeah, they were just wrecked last time they faced this team, and a lot of it was their own undoing.
Yeah, those turnovers were inexcusable. So many of their possessions ended with them giving the ball away. It's one thing to make passes, but you need to pass to your own team, not the other one.
The 76ers shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw shots of the night.
And they've had really good numbers all season from the free throw line.
And the 76ers making a change here. Richardson's checked in. Parker's checked in for Atlanta.
Well, when he gets into a groove at the free throw line, it doesn't just last for tonight. This might be 2 weeks, 2 months, something like that.
And Embiid with the block. Lays it up and banks it in. He's got 12. Bill, you wear so many hats, writing, producing, performing. You're running the ringer, which is highly successful. What role satisfies you the most?
I would say working with young people and trying to help them get better. I think that's the coolest thing you can do, especially if you feel like you've done some good stuff and accomplished some things and realized some dreams. Like the next thing to do is just to, can you help other people get to where they should be?
Well, a lot of this wasn't around when you and I were growing up. So
No.
what were your dreams?
My dream initially was just to write a sports column that people read.
And
That's what I wanted forever, yeah. And then the most satisfying thing is just not knowing what's next, but taking chances and hoping things are going to be fun and work out. You have to have a good team around you, and you have to have like 6 or 7 awesome people that you completely trust who can help you do stuff, because it's impossible to do everything yourself, especially if you're trying to increase the scale of what you're doing. And I think that even works for an NBA organization. You know, it's not like one person running everything. I would say putting a good team around you is the most important thing.
Catching up on the changes for Philadelphia. Kyle O'Quinn is checked in for Joel Embiid. Scott comes in for Ben Simmons. And it's Korkmaz in for Harris.
Well, not really his best quarter as far as scoring. Let's see if he can eventually get back on track.
Someone's open. Trae Young scanning and finds him.
The 76ers trail by 3. Can they get it? The shot missing. So the Hawks will take it the other way. Defeated by the Wizards in their last game, they'll try to put that one behind them.
A game they definitely felt they could win, and with a break here or there, they probably could have.
Maybe should have. The score doesn't indicate just how well they competed in that game. For the majority of it, they look like the better team. This is not a player who likes to be trailing in any game. That lights a fire.
Here's Herter. Taking a look at the scoring numbers, right now he averages about 9 points a game.
Nobody getting a hand in his face in that painted area. That's a miss he's going to be disappointed with.
The Hawks leading by 3. And Bill, over a quarter of today's NBA players were born in a country other than the United States. The talent is that broad all over the globe.
And Giannis was born on another planet. We don't know what planet
He is
he was.
otherworldly.
It wasn't Earth. I think he just got dropped from some satellite. Yeah, this all starts with.
I love it too, don't you? I love the fact
do.
we've got players from Latvia and Greece and all over the place.
What's cool about it is they all kind of have distinct identities and quirks, and one of the things that makes somebody like Doncic so much fun to watch is he's not like anybody else. Like, he's close to James Harden, but he's also that step back three that he was taking that he's been making his whole life. Other than Harden, nobody was even really shooting it that way, you know? And I think there's an unselfishness with the European guys that is really useful for the way the American style.
100% agree.
They really, guys move without the ball, give and go, and it's not just like clear out, I'm up.
Yeah. Atlanta making a switch here. Turner's checked in. Here's Parker. Now on the scoring column with that bucket. 1 for 2 this game.
Again and again, they're dissecting the defense and creating those high percentage looks from inside. Oh, the officials are all over that one.
The 76ers shooting their 7th and 8th free throw attempts for the game right here.
Number 35. At the line for 2.
The first free throw is good. And that's good as he hits both of his shots. Atlanta leading by 3. Herter passes to Collins. Inside. And finished off by Collins.
That's an unselfish play. Evan Turner with eyes up and delivers.
Solid play in the low block, and that one's good. 20 points for him.
Feels like the other 4 guys have disappeared at this point. He wants to be the one to get them back.
1:52 left in the first quarter of the game. Here's Resch, and O'Quinn sends it back.
Good reach by O'Quinn, getting to the shooter and reading when he was releasing it.
And Philadelphia calls time here.
And Coach can't be happy, and I think I know why. Their defense putting up no resistance inside.
No, they're not preventing them from scoring, and if you can get to a high-efficiency shot on the floor, and that's the paint, you just keep going.
Chandler Parsons, he's checked in for Collins. He'll name a couple past superstars that didn't always get enough credit for being as dominant as they were.
Moses Malone would be my number 1 pick. Probably the best player in the league for 5 years. Dominant in 83, they won the title in Philly. Really gave Kareem a lot of problems and was just awesome and has now just been swept under the rug. Nobody even really remembers. So I would go with him first.
Ever.
Never. Well, it was part of the problem. They were tape delaying games back then, and we didn't have League Pass. We didn't have a lot of that stuff. I think he was really underrated, and you kind of never know who's going to endure and who's not going to endure, which is one of the reasons I wrote my book.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside. Well, it isn't for a lack of effort when it comes to getting up to three-pointers, but not much to show for it. He's going to lose the green light here very early in this game if this keeps up.
Count it. Now it's a 7-point Atlanta lead.
D has been just completely helpless and turned around. He's so dangerous when he's in this kind of rhythm.
76ers moving the ball around. Here's Herter. And the layup is good after a nice lead pass. Herter's got his second basket of the night.
That's their third straight make off an assist.
From deep three-point range, an absolute bomb from three-point range.
And he's not going to miss that sort of an opportunity from deep.
Atlanta leading by 6. Turner looking around. Baseline try, and the Hawks getting another basket right there.
This is as good as it gets for a first quarter in terms of shooting the basketball.
Herter's gone 3 for 4 from the floor tonight. From deep. Rebound, Atlanta.
And Kevin, they need to be consistent with their effort on the boards. You look at the box score, and they're at a definite disadvantage.
From deep three-point range, and he was able to put it up in time, but doesn't fall. No shortage of scoring here at the end of the first quarter. Hawks lead by 8. We've got more in store for you right after this. And hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far. Halfway through the first half in this one. And for the Hawks guys, what stands out to you stats-wise?
Hey, why take jump shots when you can get your points at the rim?
Yeah, that worked wonders for them in the quarter. We'll see what kind of adjustments get made.
And a moment now to reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up for the second quarter of basketball. And so in the game for the Hawks, on the wings, Herter and Reddish. Chandler Parsons out there with Jabari Parker. And it's Turner in at the point guard. Here's Turner, still looking for his first bucket in this one. Bill, do you ever think we're going to eliminate conferences in the NBA playoff seeding?
I think that they would have done a 16-seed no-conference playoff format years ago. I think they were really worried about their travel, though. And they've looked at it, and they've really studied it, and they've looked at the effects of, let's say Boston plays Portland in round 1, and you're flying 3,100 miles or 3,200 miles in 3 time zones and all that stuff, and it's a 2-2-1-1-1 series. What is the effect on the team if it goes 7? I think they're really afraid of it. I wish they did it. I don't like the conferences. I don't really understand them. And over the course of NBA history, they've been really confused by the conferences. I wrote about this in the book of basketball, where we had years where San Antonio was playing in the East for a while, and Baltimore was in the West. Which, go look at a map. Baltimore being in the West is ridiculous. Baltimore was in the West and Philly was in the East, and they're like 50 miles away from each other.
Yeah, made no sense.
So they've never really 100% figured out the conferences. And I just think the 1 through 16 makes more sense.
It would sure be better basketball.
It would be better.
Yeah. Shoots it. And good, as it just snugs right down through the net. The Atlanta leading by 7. Passes it to Parsons. Parker outside. Pulls up. And there's Parsons on the assist by Parker. Parsons got 5 points now in the quarter.
That's a good read by Jabari, a solid passer. And he knew he could reward a teammate that time.
Quarter number 2, we're about 2 minutes in. And stolen by Parsons. Outside Turner, lots of room. And again, it's Atlanta.
Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
It's stolen. Teardrop shot, and Herter gets it to go. Herter's got 10.
Herter showing off the fact that he has a float game as well.
Over to the wing, and Philadelphia with another turnover here.
That is just a careless turnover. You've got to be smarter in those exchanges.
For the Hawks. Bill, you study pop culture. The 2K Esports League is a phenomenon right now, which is sweeping the country. Do you think that's going to alter the perception of gaming in any way?
Yeah, I would say it has one of the best chances of any esports league to succeed because people just love basketball. And you can feel it there in the offseason. The shift in basketball content and the fact that it's now a 12-month-a-year sport for us. And now it goes from the playoffs to the draft to where are people going in free agency. And then that plays out for a month, and then something else will happen. All of a sudden, it's August.
Summer leagues are
summer
coming up.
leagues happening, and then all of a sudden the season's close, and then you just kind of recycle, and it's a 12-month-a-year sport.
Right. Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sidelines.
Hey, Kevin. Well, the Hawks said they were going to be patient when they rebuilt their team, and they were going to do it through the draft, and they've stuck to that script. Now, Trae Young is probably the biggest name, but Atlanta's added a lot of great young talent the last 3 years. There's John Collins, Kevin Huerter, and in 2019, the Hawks added 3 more good young players in the draft. DeAndre Hunter, Cam Reddish, and Bruno Fernando. Things are looking up in Atlanta.
I would think so, too. On paper, it looks good. We'll see if it materializes. D.A., thank you as always. And the rejection by Embiid. The shot's good. And that's 13 points for Trae Young. The 76ers trail by 15. Fires for 3. Scott. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. Bill, I wanted to go back to what you were talking about with the 2K League, and you mentioned how basketball has grown into essentially a 12-month-a-year sport.
For me, a 2K Esports League just makes sense. It fits into that. I think people love the players. I think they care about these athletes. In basketball, so much more than the other sports. And for me, it's really gratifying because I've loved basketball my whole life. And for a while there, when I grew up as a kid, they were tape delaying the finals. And, it was like the second-tier league. And now to see how popular it is and how much people love it, it's just, I feel like I was in early. I'm sure you do too.
Absolutely. I mean, when Magic Johnson is a rookie and starting at center in Game 6 in Philadelphia, yes.
And it was tape delayed. My beloved Boston Celtics won the 1981 title, and it was on tape delay in Boston. And I went to bed, and my dad woke me up to watch the game for me. And it's not even 40 years ago. So I think the other thing that really helps with the 2K Esports League is that these guys play 2K, the actual players.
Yeah, right.
They
care about it.
They care about it. They have an incredible amount of time on their hands because they're too famous and they can't go anywhere. So they're in hotel suites. They're bringing with the PlayStation or Xbox with them. They're playing their friends. They're playing each other online. And this is what they're doing all day.
And a special thanks to our guest, Bill Simmons. Always a compelling discussion, and I hope we can continue.
Please, I'm available. Just call me. I'm ready.
I will.
All right,
There's your number right here on my speed dial.
You have my number. Call me.
Brent, it's a different kind of broadcast with Bill Simmons mic'd up. He lets it rip.
Well, the thing about Bill is he's not going to hold back. He has some great, strong opinions, and he backs it up with a lot of facts due to the fact that he knows the history of the game quite well.
Pass to Reddish. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. And, of course, there's no questioning Cam Reddish's talent level. Greg, he has a high ceiling.
Yeah, I mean, great size, length, the fluidity as an athlete. He can make an impact at both ends of the floor, shoots the 3 well for a young player, and you love his ability to match up really 1 through 5.
And free throw good from Reddish.
Well, some people looking at Atlanta and their situation in terms of the rebuild and wondering what direction they would go. They've made some pretty solid picks. Got John Collins at the 19th pick as a foundation piece, and then obviously drafting Trae Young and Kevin Huerter, relying on shooting on the perimeter, and things moving along swiftly in Atlanta.
Quick shot there, and it's off target. The Hawks leading by 14. Can't hit that one.
And the effort never stops with him. No easy shots when he's on the floor.
Well, it's about the defensive end, and that's what guys feed off. He gives the effort down there at all times.
3 seconds separate the shot clock and game clock. Here's Collins. It's blocked. And here they come. Got a piece of it.
How about that? That's a big boost defensively if Huerter can get in there and block shots and intimidate in some way.
11 seconds left in the first half. Now, here is Young. From deep. And the last shot at the buzzer doesn't go in for him. The clock runs out, and we're heading to halftime. It's Atlanta up by 12. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Kevin, thank you. Here with Brett Brown. Now, Coach, it seemed like you guys came out a little flat. How do you get some energy for the second half?
You just got to go with the people that have energy. I feel like we are not the aggressors. We have to do whatever we're going to do through our defense, and so far it's been poor.
Brett, thanks for your time. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. We'll be back after halftime for the start of the third quarter. Well, we've got a second half of basketball for you. We think it's going to be pretty good. A big comeback, though, is needed for this game to be competitive, and it probably has to happen quickly. And so it's Young who brings it up for the Hawks. At one point, they led by 16. The talented combo up front, Horford and Embiid. Harris is out there with Ben Simmons. That's the group in the game for the 76ers. Here's Len.
Swatted by Horford. In terms of defense, Al Horford up there amongst the top.
Tries it from the top of the key, and he hits the jumper for two. He's got 39.
He makes it look effortless out there. Until the defense actually presents a challenge for him, expect those kind of results.
And Young kicks to Hunter. The Hawks again can't hit.
Not been an easy start. 3 straight misses here on these possessions.
Basket counts.
You really got to tip your cap to him in terms of how he's played today, even if they end up losing this game.
Out left of the wing. Collins finds Crab. Back to Collins. Hunter with it. This one for 3. Crab. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points. And the Hawks lead by 10.
And they get one now. 1 of 5 here in the third.
Wasted no time on that shot, but it's off the mark. Atlanta's gone 0 of 2 from deep to start things here in the second half. Lays it up off the glass. Crab's got 4 points this quarter.
When he mixes up his game, Alan Crabb becomes very dangerous. That time, a good job of getting to the interior. Well, a fast start in the first half. Looks like he's playing this second half in the mud.
Now the pass to Hunter. Puts up a 3. That's in, coming off the assist from Young. Young's got his 6th assist on the night. Shot to stop the run, and it's good on the layup.
Really as good as any passing big that we have in the NBA. Horford is a guy who can run an offense as a big.
Young passes to Collins. Crab kicks to Hunter. Another 3 for Atlanta.
They have a good plan going right now, and they're starting to create separation.
The game plan might have been good, but you have to bring it together. Right now, their chemistry is something to be admired.
The Hawks leading by 14. Not quite 2.5 minutes played here in the second half. There's a lot of talk, Brent, about eliminating divisions, something that's been discussed. Do you think that's going to happen?
I don't understand what the divisions are. Do you?
We don't pay attention to the divisions.
We don't pay any attention to the divisions.
It's all about conference.
And we know that divisions end up helping in some ways with the playoff seedings, but it just seems strange today to have the divisions the way they are divided up. I think it helps when you're opening up a fish wrap in the morning if you check a traditional newspaper, but otherwise, there could be something that goes away soon.
Yep, it counts.
And really scored most of their points, but he can't score them all, guys. He's going to have to get somebody else to step up.
The Hawks have gone to even 5 of 10 on shot attempts in the third. Young taking his time here. And there's Hunter on the assist from Young. Young's got assist number 7 for him tonight.
Defense shaking their heads. No idea how to stop him in this quarter. He's got him on the ropes.
And Embiid throws it down.
He just punched the ticket on that one. That'll get the job done.
Powerful two-hand jam. Crab with the ball. He's got 8. Pass to Young from past the arc. Rebound by the 76ers. Harris has got 4 rebounds in this game. But they'll get another chance. Hits it again. Wow! That gives him 51.
Making it look easy.
The Hawks leading by 11. And now the first timeout called here for the Hawks.
And coaches looking to seize every advantage, maximize every possession.
Got to feel good as a coach if you make all those adjustments, pull the right strings. That's what they love to do.
Richardson, he's checked in for the 76ers. Then for the Hawks, Chandler Parsons, he's checked in for Collins. And Turner's subbed in for Young. On defense, Philadelphia. Now Len. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. Parsons finds Crab. 6 to shoot. From outside the arc. And it's Philadelphia with the rebound. Embiid's got rebound number 10 tonight with that last one. The lead now cut to single digits.
There you go. That's the stroke we saw in the first half.
And so it's Turner with it. He brings it up for Atlanta. 17 points was their biggest margin. Passes to Hunter. Launches a 3. That falls. Nice speed that time from Turner. Hunter's got 19 points.
Well, you can see it's a matter of pride out there for these guys.
Not always the best scenario, but in this game, pride takes over. You score on me, I'm going to come back and score on you.
And here is Crab. 8 points for him. Here's the dish to Turner. And stolen by Richardson. Harris outside. A beautiful reverse layup.
Man, he's got such a great touch and feel around the basket. He made that reverse look easy.
The Hawks leading by 7. Outside Turner. And Embiid with the block. Len dishes to Turner. Richardson with the double team. 5 to shoot. Crab. It's hauled in by Harris. Harris has got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Lets it fly. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Embiid. And here we have a rundown of the players you don't want on you when you're putting up a shot. The leaders in blocks over the last month. Number 1 is Joel Embiid.
And guys, as the month has unfolded, his interior defense has gotten better and better.
And there's Hunter on the assist by Turner. Turner's got 6 assists in the game.
Pretty easy right now. Clear out, give him some space, let him get to work.
From deep three-point range, sinks it. What range from outside. Wow.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
Crab kicks to Len. And it's Turner off the drive. And the rejection by Embiid. And as it goes out of bounds, Atlanta able to keep the ball here. Scotty's checked in for Al Horford. Then for the Hawks, Parker's checked in for Alex Len. Reddish comes in for Hunter. And Kevin Huerter subbed in for Alan Cram. Atlanta calls timeout. Player development, not just a coach's job, Brent, something you're active in right now. And, there are some players who are playing career, who are terrific mentors and teachers on teams.
There's no doubt about it that there are guys. I think about first what Vince Carter has provided to the teams he's been around in the past couple seasons. Zach Randolph, to some degree, was doing that as he moved from Memphis to Sacramento. But there are guys who are still players and that are on the floor contributing and doing big things like Chris Paul and Mike Conley that are such huge attributes to an organization when they start to introduce the changeover in their roster or the next phase of their team. You've got to give a lot of kudos and appreciate the fact that players who've been that great for that long accept and willingly accept, Kevin, the role of teaching young guys and paying it forward.
And role players that have been like Calderon and Haslam, who have not been stars, but have been important parts of their organization.
Also, tremendous examples of what it means to be a professional day in and day out. If your responsibilities aren't as great as the top 4 or 5 players, there's still things you can do to make your team better on a daily basis. Those are 2 great names, Kevin.
To the paint. Here's Reddish. Scott pulls it in. Scott's got 4 rebounds now tonight.
And they haven't been able to turn it into a big lead, but their rebounding advantage is starting to add up. 3 triples in the first half, 3 in the second. Boy, do they add up.
Turner passes to Parsons, feeds it to Reddish, and Reddish with the slam.
And he's an automatic finisher when he gets into that area.
He is, and he picks the simple one-hand stuff to get the 2 points. Embiid, no good.
Those are chances almost always you can rely on him to get you 2 points, but the D just enough to keep him out of rhythm.
Parsons passes to Herter. And almost gets it to go, so he'll shoot 2 here. That one on Embiid.
Herter showed some great progress in his first year and now showing how much more comfortable he is.
First trip to the free throw line for him in this one.
And so far this season, it's been average at best at the line, only 71% as a shooter.
Shooting 2.
And he makes the first.
Kevin Herter's favorite player growing up was Dwayne Wade, and that's why he wears the number 3.
Some changes for Philadelphia. Kyle O'Quinn comes in for Embiid, and it's Korkmaz in for Tobias Harris. And a change for the Hawks. Collins is checked in, and we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Kevin, when Trae Young was in college, he was known for his long-range shooting. But Young says, the people who know me best know that I'd rather get an assist than any other stat. I pride myself on making the right play. Knowing your teammates get joy and excitement from playing with you is all I care about. Kevin?
That's great to see. Thank you, D.A. From deep. Gets it to go from beyond the arc.
Yeah, these defenders had better start closing down on shooters.
Pass to Herter. Outside Collins. Back to Herter. Hawks passing it around. And Reddish with the slam.
You got to keep the ball moving, and that time Herter's pass leads to an open look.
The bounds, Atlanta takes possession. Now we have a moment to look at how the blocks have been stacking up over the past several months for Len.
We're just not seeing that same fierceness out of him defensively these last few months. He's lost a little bit of that intimidation factor. He's not blocking as many shots, and he's not making the same impact on that end of the floor.
Parsons outside, takes a 3. It's hauled in by Richardson. The 76ers trail by 6, launches it. Parsons with the rebound. The pass to Herter, back to Parsons. And O'Quinn sends it back. And a bit of a battle here for the ball. The official signals a jump ball here. And here are the 76ers now. Philadelphia has got more than a 50% success rate on their three-pointer since halftime. They're 4 of 7. A second chance effort, and it's good on the way in. O'Quinn's got his second basket of the night.
And so far going for more of an inside presence here in the second half, getting away from the three-point shot.
Parker's shot is off.
If you told me this was the kind of game he was going to have, I would not have expected them to be in front right now.
The Hawks leading by 4. Here's Reddish, and he uses the glass on the layup. Reddish has got 8 here in the quarter.
They're getting on a roll inside. Their last 3 field goals have come from the paint.
Top of the key jumper, no good.
Well, he's a guy that count on to produce from the mid-range. He doesn't miss too many open looks from there.
Parsons passes to Herter to the left side wing. Lobbed up there for Collins. Up high to stuff the alley-oop.
That connection with Collins, that's an impressive play and very, very high percentage.
Philadelphia shooting well, 50% from the floor. There's the three. That's tipped. The Hawks shooting an efficient 53% from the field. Back to Herter. Parker outside. 6 on the shot clock. Reddish's shot is good. And now a 10-point Hawks lead.
And the advantage they have starting to increase. Things are coming together for them at a really opportune time.
Coaches always talk about the first 5 minutes of the third quarter. They have definitely increased their energy level here.
At the line for your 76ers, number 35.
And the first one at the line is good. The 76ers making a switch here. Simmons is checked in. Trae Young, he's checked in for the Hawks. That's also good, so he hits both free throws. And here's Young. He'll bring it up for Atlanta. 17 points was their biggest margin. To the middle. That's good from Collins on the assist from Young. 18 points for John Collins.
And right now, they're just focused on putting together good possessions.
That's exactly how they got the lead. They ended up having multiple possessions in a row with good quality shots, knocked them down, and the game is fully in their control.
And as we end the third quarter, a double-digit deficit will make it tough to come back. It's Atlanta. They finish off the third quarter with a massive 16-7 run. We're going to step aside for just a second, but join it. And a moment now as we take a look at our State Farm assists of the game.
Yeah, an easy choice tonight. Look at the precision on this pass. Put it on a platter for him.
Well, there's a way to break down the defense with the handle, but you can do it with the pass. Prime example of that right there.
The fourth quarter has arrived. So good to have you with us. Fourth quarter on the court for the Hawks. Young and Herter make up the backcourt. Parker out there with Reddish. And it's Collins in at the 5. And Young comes over to help. Clock at 6. Offline from the top of the key.
Shot didn't fall, but that play worked well to get a good look at the basket.
Yeah, an efficient offensive possession. They found the look that they wanted, just didn't go in. They don't want to ever give up points on the boards. That's the lesson for the team there. That's a hustle play to save points.
And free throw good from Reddish. The 76ers trail by 13. Dishes to Scott. It's Korkmaz in the corner. Buries it from three-point range.
It's pretty much not how they want to defend the three-point line. Somebody's got to shadow him out there.
Down low. Shot's good from Young. And the Hawks lead by 12.
Toughness inside from Trae.
60 seconds off the clock here in the fourth. From deep. But they get it back. To the right side. Moves back up. They get it back. The Hawks leading by 12. Here's Reddish. Banked in off the glass. Reddish has got 5 points now in the quarter.
Trae Young not afraid to make passes like that. Great vision.
Timeout called the 76ers. And Brent, many consider Trae Young the first product of the Steph Curry generation. He grew up in the age of the three-point shot.
I think that's pretty fair. He said he recorded all of Steph Curry's games. He studied them and tried to see where Steph was gaining some advantage. And that balance of his shooting and his playmaking, then moving without the ball, you can see all of those sort of attributes that are coming out of Trae Young, courtesy of Steph Curry. Not getting old here, seeing him make that lead pass with perfect timing.
He dishes it to Parker. Back to Young. They double him with Simmons. Here's Collins. And finished off by Collins.
Solid night so far. Confidence rising in this game.
We're about 2 minutes into the fourth quarter in this one. And finished off by Scott.
And no doubt they'd love to see him get a lot more of those opportunities.
And that deficit will go away quickly if he does, Greg. Atlanta leading by 12. Here's Crabb. Kicks it to Parker. Pass to Young. And it's blocked by Simmons.
How about the balance and body control? Simmons able to send that one packing. Beautiful transition offense there. That's execution at its best.
Yeah, once you burst through a seam like that, you got to look right towards the rim. Sweet play.
And that one's good. Hunter.
And since halftime, he has been a different player.
The 76ers have gone 4 of 7 from the field since the beginning of the fourth. Here's the floater. And he lays it up and in. And the Hawks lead by 14.
And for a player who's so prolific from beyond the arc, Crabb has the length and some hops inside to beat you.
Fast break, the Hawks. Young with no one around. Misses off the right iron. Philadelphia's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. In the corner, Simmons with it. Look at the clock, a little under 3.5 minutes gone here in the fourth. Connects from three-point range.
And until he cools off, I'd keep the ball in his hand.
And so it's Young who brings it up for Atlanta. To the paint. And that one's good. Hunter's got 25 points in the game.
Yeah, these defenders just look a bit overmatched, especially inside.
To the middle, here's Scott, and he floats in for the easy two. Credit the assist on that one.
Wow, what a pass there. He made that a very easy basket with that setup.
Young drives in. That shot, no good. Simmons with the defensive effort. Passes it to Horford. Philadelphia moving the ball around. There's the triple. Rebound by the Hawks. Here's Crabb, and he banks in the layup.
And Matador defense, that's one of the easiest shots he is ever going to see.
Yeah, feels like Christmas right now, just gift wrapping points.
The baseline jam. Good, that's another bucket. He's been absolutely ridiculous in this game.
You get the sense he just can't miss.
Young outside. Three-pointer. Hits it from three-point range. Young's got 5 points in the quarter.
Trying more and more to utilize the three-pointer. It's a good idea. That's his second three of the game. One in each half. I know people can't see you, Kevin, but you're doing what I'm doing. Scratching your head to that turnover.
Joel Embiid. He's checked in for the 76ers. And a change for the Hawks. Lenz checked in for Jabari Parker. Here's Hunter. The teardrop falls in. Hunter's got 27.
So versatile offensively. When Hunter gets in a rhythm, he's capable of carving up a defense.
Releases. Rebounded by the Hawks. Lenz got rebound number 8 here tonight in the game. Over to the left wing. There's Crabb with the three. Another three for Atlanta.
I mean, could we say he was playing possum a bit there in the first half? Because it seems to be a different guy out there, way more assertive.
To the inside, Horford off on the layup. And the Hawks with possession. They're on a 16-7 run. The feed now to Collins. Slammed home, and he draws the foul. A chance for another point at the free throw line. That's on Ben Simmons.
Yeah, at 6'10", John Collins getting more and more used to the physical rigors of a big man in the NBA.
And he may not have gotten the same attention as some of the other picks back in the 2017 draft, Greg, but John Collins out of Wake Forest has been outstanding thus far in his career.
Really one of the league's best kept secrets. Tremendous athleticism. Also,
there he goes!
You don't want to be jumping on a play like that. Wow, he was up there, Kevin.
Yeah, whenever Simmons gets a chance to show off his insane jumping skills, he seizes it.
Here's Young. Count the basket. He's got 22.
Another good play. This is how they built the lead, calling on the right guys at the right time.
Basketball IQ is something that gets talked about, but its importance to a team showing up here, running plays that turn into scores.
The Hawks leading by 18. The shot, no good. Simmons with the defensive effort. Collins with some nice D. Collins grabs the miss. Atlanta's gone 2 for 2 from three-point land to start the fourth quarter. Here's Hunter. Second chance shot, and it's sent back by Horford. Tries it from 19. The shot that time, not on target. And Atlanta will come the other way. Pass to Crabbe. Inside. Shot's good from Young. Young's got 9 points in the quarter.
Yeah, Trae Young showing you variety. He can score in a lot of ways.
Horford, good.
Yeah, so reliable. He clearly needs to be more involved in the offense as they try to shrink this lead.
Here's Young, trying to get open his land. Young's shot is off.
And the pressure he put on that shot forced the miscue.
Those are all the little things about effort there. He just gets out there and contests, and that's just enough. This is not a player who likes to be trailing in any game. That lights a fire.
Here's Hunter. And it's Joel Embiid with the rebound. The 76ers trail by 16. Here's Simmons. That's another one for him. His fifth in just 7 shots.
And he's really shot the ball well, but it hasn't been contagious.
And Young kicks to Collins. Knocks it loose. And they're moving it up. Here's Simmons. Rejected by Young.
How about that? Trae Young with a block shot.
Here's Hunter. And it goes out of bounds. That one off Harris. And now a look at the upcoming schedule for the 76ers. On Tuesday, they'll start out on the road and play the Timberwolves in Minnesota. And then on Thursday, they'll go up against the Bulls in Chicago.
And looking at the Suns matchup, it's the second game of a back-to-back, and you know they're going to be feeling the effects of it. Playing that much basketball in that short amount of time really takes a toll.
A big man, John Collins, seeing the court that time.
Unloads. No good on the shot, a bit long that time. The Hawks leading by 17. Down low. And finished off by Collins.
Now, lead passes like that are so hard to defend. He never had to break his stride, so full speed, 2 points.
Shoots. The 76ers again can't hit it. And Collins has got the ball here for the Atlanta Hawks. Young against Simmons. Young dishes the lane. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
That's his first.
That one on Horford.
Yeah, he's going to be in the paint is Alex Len, and he's good at forcing the defense to come in and take some chances. Whacked him that time.
And they didn't shoot it very well from the line in the first half, but they've gotten much better since halftime, and it's helped them to secure the lead.
He's perfect from the line this time. And bird rights an important element in structuring the salary cap. Can you tell the viewers exactly what that means?
What it means, Kevin, is you have the ability to go into the above the tax to sign your own player, and so it doesn't cost you in terms of tax dollars. So if a player finishes his season, you have bird rights on that player. You can negotiate a number that's not going to impact your bottom line and cut into your salary cap. So very important when teams are maneuvering around and trying to get players on their roster for a season or two, that after that second season or third season over, that the bird rights still remain for them to extend him even further to keep him around the culture.
And he makes that one. And that's 11 points for Joel Embiid.
And with that basket, he's able to end a 10-0 run by Atlanta.
Here's Crabbe. That's in, coming off the assist from Young.
Showing flashes of his ability. When Crab's shooting the ball well, he just needs to stay aggressive. He has been tonight.
Embiid finds Harris. A 3-ball. And the 76ers get it back. Another shot, and Embiid lays it in.
Yes, and with this one winding down, it's obvious to everyone who watched it. Just a total mismatch and a true show of strength for the Hawks.
You don't see this kind of a blowout often, but tonight this is a quality win across the board to deliver out this kind of punishment.
They definitely never changed the approach. They just kept after it and showed they were clearly the better team in just about every single category.
And so it'll boost this year's win total for them to 29.
And really an important win from a pride standpoint.
Now here's Burke. And so Atlanta takes this one by a big margin. This one was over well before the final buzzer. The fans were waiting for something to get excited about, Greg, but they never got it.
They sure didn't. I mean, they just rolled to this win. They made it look really easy. What an efficient performance at both ends.
Thank you for joining us. For Brett Berry, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge. This is along with our 2K Sports crew. We'll see you next time. Have a great evening.
Thanks once again to Ben Simmons for joining us on the show. Great talk with one of the league's best young players.
Thank you, Ben.
Yep. Coming up next, we're going to talk about the upcoming free agent class. Who's available? Where do they want to go? And a whole lot more. But first, quick break. Stick around. More Hank and the Hornet on 98.